Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. And in this one, we're just going to talk a little bit about Madden NFL 26. Last week we got the reveal trailer, and then hopefully we'll be getting more news in the coming weeks. The release is just about 2 months away, so we know what we're getting so far when it comes to the cooler introductions. The coaches are supposed to, be more aligned with their IRL tendencies. So all of that stuff, that's fine and dandy. But here are some things that I think they kind of left out and that I think are still possible and that I would like to see for the most part in Madden. So first, kicking it off, these are kind of the miscellaneous things that don't fit into any of the categories that I'm going to explain later. But take all of those good things that we got from College Football 25 and copy and paste it over to Madden 26. So the whole thing, like for example, when you kneel down at the end of the game and the game is over and the clock runs down really fast, port that over to Madden. That was a great feature. I think how college does the scouting for high school players, it should be that same type of thing, except port it over to Madden if we so choose. So literally just copy and paste it. It's already like kind of coded into a EA Sports game. We need some type of deeper level of depth when it comes to scouting and the college immersion on the NFL side of the game. Like it's kind of like right now you just set your scouts. That's it. Your scouts do what they have to do over the course of the season, and then you don't really have to do anything until the draft comes around. And then similarly, I think they could implement kind of how we have to go and recruit high school free agents, or high school recruits. They're basically free agents for NIL, let's be real. But I think they could port that over to Madden and make that same type of thing, fun to do when it comes to recruiting free agents in the offseason. Like for example, instead of just having money be the thing that matters, they have those three things that really matter to them. Like for example, it'll be like proximity to home. Sometimes it'll be like championship contender, has their franchise QB. Like let me go, give me a set of resources, and let me kind of go win over this top name free agent. I think that could be a cool feature and something that's missing right now. And then moving over to gameplay in general, something that I really want is more playbook diversity. Like Madden 25 was a step in the right direction, but it felt like all of the new plays and most of the new concepts that they added, they were in all of the super meta formations. Like over the past few years, online play has, it's been dominated by the gun bunches. It's been dominated by the normal Y-offs. It's been dominated by the trips tight end. So what did EA do? They went and added some of the best plays in the game, and they added to these super meta formations. So I thought it was cool. Like on the comp side of things, we saw a lot of pros and a lot of different playbooks, but they kind of all still gravitated to these same handful of formations. So they need to have the ability to spread the love a little bit. Like every playbook should be getting some love. Every playbook should have some new concepts and things like that. Like me, I'm a big Patriots playbook type of person, and the Patriots playbook, they barely got any love when it comes to the new plays, the auto motions and things like that. So I just want to see playbooks improve a lot. And then the other thing that I really felt was missing was abilities. This game has become way too reliant on abilities. Like if your players don't have abilities, then they don't work. Like it's just core gameplay features should not be hidden behind an ability wall. So in Ultimate Team, that's essentially a paywall. And then in franchise, it's just pulling your hair out until you get a dev trait game if you want to play realistically. So I don't know, that's super annoying, and I don't know, they got to find a way to tone it back where the good players, they should definitely feel better. They should definitely have abilities. I think NBA 2K does a good job of this with the badge system, where you don't have to be a certain overall or certain tier of player to have a badge, whereas on Madden or college football, you kind of have to be that upper echelon of player to get a really good ability. So how college football kind of took their spin on it with the silver, bronze, gold, etc. type of system, I feel like that should be a Madden. So I should be able to be a 75 overall, but if I have a really great release package at the line, but maybe not the best hands, give me a good release package if I'm a receiver or for a type of thing like that. So I feel like that is missing for sure. And then the last big gameplay thing that I want is just player movement. Like player movement is so funky in Madden 25. Like when you switch between Madden 25 and college football 25, the ball carry moves, they get significantly worse, which I guess makes sense. College, you want to be able to move a little bit more, score a few more points. But Madden, they had it way overpowered at the beginning of the year, where I know you guys remember that spin move. If you had a dream and a little bit of open space in that spin move, you could spam that circle button, that B button if you're on Xbox, and the ball carry move, you could get busy. It could be 4th and 25. You you could throw a flat route, spin move 3 times, and boom to the end zone. So it shouldn't be that bad. But if I'm in the open field, it shouldn't be an automatic tackle. So I shouldn't just have to be on or want to be on conservative most of the game when it comes to my ball carrying moves. Like, give me a reason to be on normal. Make stick skills matter again. If I want to get shifty in the open field, like Saquon Barkley in the open field, Jahmyr Gibbs in the open field, those guys who can really get east to west and then get out of there, it should feel like they can really get east to west. They can really juke out some defenders. And then moving on from the gameplay side of things, I just wanted to touch on franchise because this is probably the most neglected mode in the game overall. And I think it has so much potential. Like when we think of what they did with Dynasty on College Football 25, or even what NBA 2K does with My NBA in their basketball series, there is just so much that could be done. For me, I want a lot more front office like tool optimization. Like we need a realistic salary cap system where you have the ability to add like void years, change guarantees, and things like that. And then additionally, I want to be able to on the back end change the different like run pass frequencies that they're kind of advertising in these blogs. Like I think they're calling it coach DNA, where we have the tendencies of each of the coaches baked into the players or baked into how they play the game, how they call the game. I need to be able to do that if I want to sim the game. So let's say I want to be really aggressive. I want to be the Dan Campbell, but Dan Campbell on steroids. I should be able to do that. I should tone up this like fourth down aggressiveness slider, and I should be able to change that on a week-to-week basis depending on who I'm playing. Like what I've thrown up on the screen now is some of the tools that you have when it comes to NBA 2K. So you can like literally go in and set a game plan for each of the 30 teams in the league, and then you can sim the season, and the sim will basically take those settings that you input and it'll make a difference. Like if I want to give this guy 48 minutes a game, I want him to play every single minute, I can make him do that. We don't have that ability in Madden at the moment. In Madden, when it comes to the sim, it's like playbook really matters above all else. Of course, like player overalls matter a lot, but it's kind of built on like a PS2, Xbox 360 type of engine where if you have a good playbook, like it's like the Cowboys playbook is a really good one, and there's a handful of others, but like you put those playbooks on and your team suddenly starts doing better, and that just makes zero sense. It's not realistic whatsoever, and it kind of kills the whole rebuilding process. I just feel like the entire GM type of mode is just missing entirely. You kind of can only be a coach or an owner, and like the roster building skills, the ability to manipulate the cap and things like that is just completely missing from Madden. And like I don't want to keep calling back on NBA 2K, but they do a really good job of this. Like here's an example of some things that you can do in the off season of NBA 2K, where they have like these committee meetings or these league meetings, where they even propose rule changes. Like think about how deep we can get with this on Madden. You can say, for example, hey, we want to add 2 expansion teams, so bring the league up to 34 teams, or we want to do a knockout style tournament where everybody makes the playoffs and it's based on seeding, where the first 4 get a first round bye instead of the first 2 teams. Like there's so many things that could possibly be changed that I think EA is kind of they're leaving it behind. So like just for example, if I like they have a bunch in 2K that pretty much never get passed in the off season. So for example, we could do like, hey, change the first down to 12 yards, or make quarters a little bit longer, add an extra point if you score from 30 yards away, or things like that. These are all examples of things that are in NBA 2K right now, and I've thrown up on the screen an example of a few things that Madden could possibly do. Like I want to be able to do conference and playoff realignment. So if I wanted to bring the league down to 20 teams, or even go to 10, or go all the way up to 36 or even 40, I should be able to do that, man. And then moving on beyond the franchise side of things, I want more of these presentation and visual features. They did talk a little bit about the introductions, so I think that part is cool. But we need a better, uniform builder, better stadium builder, team builder being back in Madden 25. That was cool, but we need more. Additionally, we need, some of those new equipment pieces that are missing in the game. I saw they advertised the Guardian cap, so I think that's pretty cool when it comes to the immersion and things. But on the screen now, I just have a bunch of stuff that the Madden modding community has been able to put into the game now. So EA, you make a lot of money. You make billions of dollars. I just want a handful of these things that you haven't talked about yet. I know we're only one gameplay deep, we're only one reveal trailer in. We haven't done any gameplay deep dives. The big thing that looks like you're selling now is Coach DNA. Make sure it's really Coach DNA is all I'm asking for. Like, let me get that same type of Coach DNA when it comes to creating my coach on franchise, when it comes to simming and doing things like that. But overall, that's going to be it for me in this one. I appreciate you guys if you watched this far in the video. If you made it this far, I don't know, comment pancakes. And then also like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.